Morning, Facebook world. It is a beautiful day in Southwest Michigan, and I'm thinking, gosh, should I just take off the rest of the day? Yet I digressed. So, what's your problem? And a little clickbait-ish, I get that. So, do me a favor. Oftentimes, when I look at what people are doing and I ask questions, oftentimes what they're doing is, in my old mentor used to say, prescription without diagnosis is malpractice, and a lot of people don't get that. My question to you is, are your actions really put in place to solve the real problem at hand? So, for example, let's say that you have back pain. And what a lot of people do in life is, rather than fix the back pain, they take ibuprofen, so they numb it. Well, what if you looked at the real reason behind the back pain? And again, I'll say, well, maybe it's because you're 60 pounds overweight. Well, okay, well, that could probably be the reason why you're having back pain. If you're carrying an extra 60 pounds in your belly, that might be a portion of it. But let's go a step further. Maybe it's because you're drinking too much, therefore you're making poor eating choices, therefore you're putting on the weight. So it's really not the weight that's the problem, it's the drinking. Well, what's causing you to drink more than what you probably should? Maybe it's your marriage sucks, therefore you drink more, therefore you make poor choices in eating, therefore you get overweight, therefore you have a back problem. See, what a lot of people do is they try to solve the problem with the wrong diagnosis. It's not the back problem. It's the fact that they need to fix their relationship so that they're not drinking as much. So therefore, they're not eating as much shit. And by not eating as much shit, they're not gaining the weight. Therefore, they don't have as big of a back problem. And oftentimes what I do is I tend to piss people off. And here's why I tend to piss people off. Rather than like throw you ibuprofen, I'll take my thumb and push right in your back. Meaning I'll give you awareness around the real problem. And awareness, as Ron Potowski, one of my old mentors, said, awareness in and of itself is usually transformational. So do me a favor. Take your tongue and lick your hand. Go and get it sloppy wet and then dry it. Smell it. That's what your breath smells like. See, if I bring awareness that your breath stinks, I don't need to tell you, like, this is a toothbrush. This is toothpaste. No, once I help you get awareness around the real problem, you know how to go and fix it. So many of us need to make a decision in life. Do you care more about the people than you do the relationships? 99.9% of the people out there, I care more about them than I do the relationship. Outside of my immediate family and my parents and my in-laws and anybody that's in the family, I actually care more about the relationship. So 9 times out of 10, I just keep my mouth shut. Why? Because 1, I might not have permission to say anything. 2, they probably don't want to actually hear what everybody else is thinking. And I want the relationship to be solid. Now, when we look at relationships in most of my A's and B's, if you have a problem, there's a pretty good chance that I'm going to call it out like I did with my buddy Josh Ketting. He got on a Zoom once and I go, dude, you look fat as fuck. What is going on? Like, you look like a walking heart attack. And again, it pissed him off. And if you look at him now, he's a beast. Somebody needed to say it. Now, if he would have said, Hank, I have a health issue and you're an asshole. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, dude, but I was concerned for you. And either way, if you push on that pain point, there's a good chance that somebody's actually going to do something about it. Now, Josh could have chosen one of 2 things. Hank's an asshole, or wow, Hank actually cared enough to say what everybody else was thinking. And if you look at Josh now, he's a beast. I mean, if you look at his biceps and his triceps, because you can actually see him now, like, he's completely changed his lifestyle. Why? Because I was willing to punch him in the jaw. Now, thankfully, it was done virtually because he probably would have whooped my ass if I would have said that face to face. Yet it's because I cared more about Josh than I do necessarily being in a relationship, because whether he reacts or responds isn't up to me. He chose to respond. He chose to look in the mirror and said, yeah, dude, you probably could have said it nicer. And that is part of my problem is sometimes I don't filter things enough. I was just telling my father-in-law, I'm kind of turning into the grumpy old man, like where I just lack the filter. And sometimes I could probably have a little bit more tact on what I'm saying it. Yet my goal is to help you. It's not to be your friend. It's not to tiptoe around it. I got 2 messages about 30 days ago from 2 separate people. And they said, a year ago, you were an asshole to me. I said, okay, where's this going? And they said, well, you said to me, I didn't need a coach. I needed a therapist. I was like, well, was I right or was I wrong? She goes, well, you were right. You could have been nicer about it. Okay. How are you doing today? Well, I'm doing awesome. Okay. So let's get this right. I hurt your feelings. You went and got into action. You fixed it. And you're upset because I could have been nicer about it. Fuck off. And again, I'm joking. I'm being a little bit exaggerating here. Yet at the end of the day, sometimes people need to hear what they don't need to hear. They don't want to hear. It doesn't feel good sometimes. And as adults, guess what? Sometimes your feelings will get hurt. And it's not to hurt your feelings. I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. All I want to do is help people. And so do me a favor. If I ever hurt your feelings, just let me know. If I hurt your feelings, it's probably because I care about you. Because I can tell you this right now, if I don't care about you, I'm not going to cause drama. I'm not even going to take the time to make an observation. And here's what I also know. I'll be wrong. Sometimes I'll get a snapshot and I'll call something out and that's not really you. All that is the snapshot. So anyways, awareness, as Diana Kokoska was the first one to say to me, awareness is transformational in and of itself. Do me a favor. If you have a problem that you're trying to solve, slow down and get people around you to help you recognize if that's the real problem going on. We spend so much time solving a problem at the level that we understand it. And this is why a lot of times I think that therapy is so important is if we don't get other people involved, we might be trying to solve the wrong problem and we'll only be spinning our wheels. Diana Kokoska, again, I like to give credit where credit's due. She talks about smoke versus fire. You got to get to the fire. Stop fighting the smoke, get to the fire. And anyways, hope everybody has a great day. It's Wednesday. Got a couple group calls and yeah, life is good. Look at all that gray. Goodbye.